Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Racing on Sunday is down in the Western Cape at Kenilworth. We're at Hollywood Bets Kenilworth on the Sunday summer course track after yesterday's success. First of all, let me start out by sending all the congratulations out there to the winner of the Summer Cup, Wato Manzano. Great ride by Keegan DeMello, but I think most of the kudos and congratulations do go to Team Lawrence Verners. Great to see him get an interview or give an interview to Lyle after the race. But so many people to congratulate there. Justin Vermark, obviously, and their purchase in Argentina. Lawrence himself and the full team, and obviously Janse van Vuuren, a great success for them. It was a tremendous day as well for Team de Kock. They ran second in the race. Muzzy running second. I know he was a bit disappointed. He bumped actually into my wife. My wife bumped into him at the races yesterday, and he said he's tired of running second, but it was a tremendous run from Safe Passage. And of course, the de Kock hat-trick in the Dingons is an indication of what lies ahead for their 3-year-old. So great racing yesterday, but time for us to concentrate on the Kenilworth card, and going to keep it very brief as we do these days and just go through some of my thoughts on the pick six. I'm not getting overly involved in the first couple of races because, as you know, as we have a look at the card changes and scratchings, those are the baby races getting us underway. Just having a look at the card scratchings here on screen. Race 2 outcomes number 6 and number 8. Race 4 number 13 is also out. Important scratching in race 7. Number 1 Narina Tragon is out, coughing, and then in the last race number 12 has an abnormal blood count. JP van der Merwe picks up a ride for Peter Ench on Sharp Shock in race 5. And Aldo is just plus half a kilogram on Medler's Tart. Okay, let's get into the fixed odds then. And we're going to go straight to just the third race, just run through my thinking of the pick six today. Now, the critical thing for the pick six, folks, is that number 10 Future Turn has been gelded. It's not in the computer form, but he was gelded straight after his last start. So he's going to, well, he's had the unkindest cut of all, but he's going to strip a little bit slimmer. But there's no money for him. So one would assume that a horse who's run over further and has been gelded might just need this run under his belt. It'd be interesting to see how he goes, because it is, of course, a work riders race. So I think you've got to load up anywhere. But he has been gelded as number 10 Future Turn. I would go wide in this race. There has been a touch of money for number 8 Rafiki. We know, of course, that's got one of the more accomplished work riders on. So Dixon rides for Nell. That combination, they've had 8 starts together, and he's won 3 of them, 2 seconds, a third, and 2 fourths. So what's that? That's every single start has been in the first 4. So there's certainly, if you're doing a quartet in the race, number 8 Rafiki will run in the first 4 statistically. But I think you've got to go a little bit wider here. It is a work riders, and the form at best looks muddling. So let's move on to race 4, and the 4th race on the program. Well, there's money here for number 10, who is shortened from 14 to 10 into even money. This is the son of William Longsword. I'm avoiding saying it because I can never pronounce it correctly, but it's number 10 on the card. Certainly got good form. He's had 3 seconds, including behind To the Moon and Back, then Teatro. And on the Teatro run, he finished quite some distance in front of number 8, Doubling Up. However, Doubling Up has also been gelded. So the same things happened to him in the betting market that happened to his stable companion in the work riders race. He opened up. This is Doubling Up, number 8 at 33 to 10. It's drifted out to 9 to 2. So perhaps the horse to improve could be the horse below that, number 9 Inside Story. Now he goes the mile. He will definitely enjoy the extra 400 meters. He's a son of Dynasty out of a Spectrum mare. And he was back to the first 2 times he came to track. So he hasn't quite delivered, I guess, what their expectations were, but he might very well do so here and improve. That's number 9 Inside Story. So I'd certainly hold a candle in the window for him. Are there any others in the race? Well, number 6 Give Me the Best is a horse that I would look to improve. That's at rather large odds of 50 to 1. Number 11 Madison Blues has got poor draw, but has got some form. So it might well be that number 10 is the right horse to be with there, and the money is certainly poured on him. So he's a potential banker for you in that second leg of the pick six. It'll be the first leg of that first jackpot. That's number 10. But Inside Story, I would expect to run a much improved race. A little bit of money I see for Captain Corrupt. Just have a look at what I've got about him. Yeah, he's a nice son of Erupt. He's well drawn at 5, and he's got Grant Fanico who takes over in the iron. So a bit of a jockey strike there. If you are going to try and beat the 10, you could probably add him in. Right, this is taking a bit longer than anticipated, so let's step it up. Let's move on to race 5, and I'll keep my thoughts fairly short and sharp here. This is one of our special weights maidens, so you've got to look a little bit deeper here and go a few horses. I thought that the value in the race might actually be number 6, By Midnight. He's only got 52 kilograms to shoulder, but I think it's pretty trappy. You'd have to put in number 1, Crimson Wings, certainly number 2, Catches If You Can. That's only got 56 kilograms from a 2 draw. I'd put in number 4, Chelsea Garden. That's also Grant Fanico, just 56.5. Royal Invitation's got the blinkers on. I've mentioned number 6, By Midnight, and I'm not so sure you can leave out number 8, Middler's Tart, even though it has had 58.5 kilograms to shoulder. JP Van Amerwe, by the way, picks up the ride on number 7, Short Sharp Shock. So that's a race not to mess around in. I think you need to go a little bit wider, as it is a special weights maiden. Let's move on to race 6. And here, Silvano's Dasher, what a lovely horse he is. He just continues to improve. He has to shoulder those 60 kilograms. He is a son of Silvano, drawn 3. He's got a lot of positives, but he has got 60 to carry. So, mind you, does number 7, Sugar Mountain, who I wouldn't leave out. I think he'll run well with Aldo de Meyer on board. But the value might well be a little bit further down on the 3-year-old, number 9, We Can Go All Night. He's got 56 to shoulder. When he shed his maiden, well, prior to shedding his maiden, he actually ran in the nursery, ran second to We're Jamming. And then he beat Pardonom, who's not a bad sort. And then he ran behind Charles Dickens, who he knows unbeaten, runs later, and Lightspeed, who won the Lungerman. This was the Lungerman that he ran 4th in. So I think that number 9, We Can Go All Night, is certainly one horse to consider. And although number 10 comes with KwaZulu-Natal form, he might upset, although he's drawn 10. He'd probably be in my C group, would be number 10. So to summarize my thoughts in that race, 7, Sugar Mountain, and 3, Silvano's Dasher, 2 obvious horses, but I do like number 9, We Can Go All Night. Number 4, Night Ruler, might need the run. On some form, he works out pretty well, but he hasn't run for 106 days, has number 4, Night Ruler. Okay, let's move on to the penultimate race on the program, and I'll give you my thoughts on this race. Kingdom of Heaven has been supported from 7-1 into 9-2, but Charles Dickens is obviously going to be all the rage here. He's unbeaten from 4 starts. Now, he should win, shouldn't he? He's 5-10, but he'd have to be pretty good. Look, I mean, he is obviously good. He's going to go for the Guineas. He might go into the Guineas unbeaten. But the fact remains that he's a 3-year-old carrying 59 kilograms. And if you have a look at the horse below, number 7, 55er, who is at 20-1 in the market, 55er is well in and races from a yard that has turned the corner. Vaughan Marshall's horse is running really nicely. And he's got to give him 4 kilograms. So Charles Dickens, I'm sure, will confirm the form, but he'll have to be at his pretty best to do so. He's not going to get a cakewalk at the allowance weights in the race. And that's confirmed when you have a look at like number 8, Russian Rock, who is rated a 114. He's been a frustrating horse his whole life, Russian Rock. He pulls like a dentist. He famously won the Guineas, of course, but since then he's just given Dean Canamere and his owners endless headaches. So I'm hoping for Bryn Wrestle and the team and Marsh that he runs well. And he certainly is in a race where he's likely to do so. He's drifted from 5-1 to 7-1, but there's no getting away from the fact that he's well in here. Is number 8, Russian Rock. Number 1, by the way, as I mentioned earlier on, is scratch, so that's not here on this sheet. But number 1, Narina Trigon, is out. Just another mention for the money horse, number 5, Kingdom of Heaven. Absolutely no weight. He's going 50 kilograms, and I'm sure that's why they backed him. He's also very well related, of course, is number 5, Kingdom of Heaven. So for me, in the pick 6, I'm going to do this. I'm going to put in the 1 in order to double up with number 6, Charles Dickens, but I will add number 5, Kingdom of Heaven, 755er, and Russian Rock. So yeah, I respect Charles Dickens. Obviously, 59 kilograms. He will have to have his A game on, which will, I'm sure, be good enough to win. But racing is about value, and I'll be just looking to throw in a few there and double up with the scratching if he does win with 59 kilograms and go therefore into the Guineas unbeaten. Right, let's move on to the last race. Well, they're back to a horse that I like here. I like the Dennis Dry Sean Veal combination of number 8, Baubles and Beads, was 12-1, has had the price halved. I'd like to declare that some of that is my money, which it is. But whether she'll run as well as I hope, let's see. It's a very open race. This is a 78 handicap fillies and mares. So where you see fillies and mares, it's field and more. I have backed Baubles and Beads, but I'm going to go wide in some of the exotics. I'm going to throw in all sorts of things here, even with top weight number 1, Mar Black, with Aldo from a good draw of 1. Cityscape has got Calvin Abib on. That's only, I think, because Louis can't ride 54 and is drawn 2. So a lot of positives there. I'm going to put in some of the older fillies. Number 3, Classery is interesting. The Mitchley Yard has done really, really, really well. She's caught everybody's eye. So interesting raider from PE. 5, Apollo Moons, an older filly, goes in. I liked What Estate last time, ran well at a big price, so I've got to put her back in. Baubles and Boards I've mentioned. Beads rather, Baubles and Beads, easy for me to say. Also going to throw in number 11, She's My Captain, JP Funamere, with just 52 kilograms on at a big price of 20-1. And then just over the page, 13 should be held by number 14. The Country Time, I think, will benefit dropping back to the minimum trip of 1,000. So open last race, got to go wide. I've mentioned Baubles and Beads. Also like a little bit of the older filly, She's My Captain, and 5, Apollo Moon. But I'm going to go wide in that last race. Right, well, that sums us up for today's Kenilworth race meeting. Lovely to watch some quality individuals like Charles Dickens on show. It'll be exciting to see how he goes. A 59-kilogram carry. He's got a shoulder against some hard knockers. The Russian rocks of this world. Should be a good race to watch. From Neil and the team, once again, congratulations to Team Verners, to Justin Vermark and everybody for yesterday's Summer Cup victory. From Neil and the team, have a great day's racing. Bye-bye.